What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and I am excited and awake on a Monday morning because of something that brings me an extreme amount of joy, and that is a new Kickstarter where I have exclusive information you cannot find anywhere else. And that, my friends, is from our good friends at Kobold Press. Probably most known for their Tome of Beasts and Creature Codex monster bundle books that are phenomenal assets to any 5th edition creator's collection, but Tome of Beasts 3 Full Throttle, which I love how they've changed these names. It was Tome of Beasts 2 Electric Beastaloo, and now it's Tome of Beasts 3 Full Throttle. I love that. It is now live on Kickstarter. It's only been live for maybe 2 hours, and it's almost triple its funding goal, and you know that this thing is going to get bigger and bigger as time goes on. So I have a couple of really interesting things to say. Quick plug for myself. You guys broke 90K here on the channel, which is amazing. Under 10K left until we hit that big 100 and we can placard that play button right here on the wall for all to see. So let's take a look at the Kickstarter. I will show you I have 2 monsters with stats, well, not stats, but details about the monsters as well as artwork for those monsters. And if this wasn't good enough already, yours truly has been tapped as a guest designer and will have a monster that I created in this book. So let's go ahead and take a look, which I'm over the moon about, by the way. So here we go. You can see it's already, this number is just going to tick up constantly. Let's take note. It is at 148,103 as I was speaking. When we start this video, let's check to see how high it'll go by the time we reach the end. 148,103. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. That's where we were when we started the video. So, over 400 new 5th edition monsters, from Ghost Knight Templars to Riptide Drakes, as well as foul new fiends, challenging aberrations, and so much more. You can get it at the $29 level and up, and as it's Kobold Press, you can expect all sorts of crazy stuff. Layer books, PDFs, virtual tabletop licensing, the kind of stuff that we wish a certain first-party vendor would do, but, you know, it is what it is. In addition to Tome of Beasts 3 hardcover and PDF, Kickstarter will fund a creation of 16 or more beautiful monster minis, which is something new, which I'm excited about, 4 virtual tabletop editions for digital play, and exclusively engraved 7 dice set and ready-to-play Tome of Beasts 3 layers hardcover for fast, furious encounters and short adventures. We can see a little bit of art here. Tome of Beasts 3 covers the gamut from trash mobs to major villains. You can download sample PDFs of unedited monsters, and this link here if you want to go check out some more, which we could go ahead and click that and see what we get. Okay, so here's the preview. We can see a couple of things. The Coastline Reaper, the Ghost Knight Templar, Mother Moth. She looks like she's challenge rating 11. We got a Myrmex here, so we're seeing stuff from challenge rating low. We saw all the way up to 11, 10, 1/2, Torch Mimic, Underworld Sentinel, and so on. That is what the general public can see. I have 2 more that you can't find anywhere else. Let's keep going. So as we can see, the PDF for $29. Again, that's a pretty big steal to just get access to this PDF. You'll also get it significantly sooner than those who only back at a physical level or are looking for a physical book only. And here's the nice thing about Kobold Press, there is no physical only. $59 gets you the book, but it also gets you the PDF. So even if you're waiting for your book to arrive in the mail, you'll still get the PDF as soon as that's available. So as you can see here, here's the PDF for $45 of Tome of Beasts and the Layer book. I highly recommend you get the Layer book if you haven't. I've gotten everyone so far, and they're always a nice thing for quick encounters. You can string a bunch of them together to make a campaign or do different things like that. For $49, that is access to your virtual tabletop, whether that be Shard, Foundry, Roll20, or Fantasy Grounds. $59 is physical and digital. $89 is Tome of Beasts physical digital and Layers physical digital. $79 is limited edition. I backed at $125 myself because that's usually what I always do for these. The limited edition hardcover, and when they do say limited edition, folks, they are. As you can see at that level, there are only 43 left at the time of me recording this, which will get you the limited edition Tome of Beast Tome of Beast, the Layer book, the physical version, and PDFs of both. If you've got a bunch of money you want to blow, you can spend $600 and get a leather-bound version. And then there's a version here for retailers as well. Here are the add-ons and extras. You can see for $12, you can either get a huge mini, 2 large, or 4 small/medium minis. You can pick and choose what you want. $15 for the dice. I'm probably going to add that onto mine just because that's I think the only time they've ever offered dice, and I've been a Tome of Beasts fan. I actually play-tested monsters from Tome of Beasts 1 back when the YouTube channel was teeny tiny. We're talking maybe 1,000 subscribers. Kobold Press reached out to me for the live streams we did and asked if we wanted a playtest, and that was my first interaction, and it's some of the most memorable encounters I've had in my game have come from Kobold Press monsters, which is why I've been such a huge proponent of them. By the way, this video is not really sponsored, so it's just me doing the promo here. But again, I am working on the book, so I guess it is kind of, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, we can see some of the minis here, a variety of different little ones. Also, this Puffin Folk is a new, it's obviously not a playable race, but it's a character you could encounter, and who doesn't love a Puffin, which is awesome. And we can see here the large minis here, Legion, the Water Cled, I'm not even going to try to pronounce these, but hey, Garmwolf is easy to pronounce, it's like a Cerberus here. And then you can add those to your pledge, and then you can choose if you want to add multiples of those if you want. Again, here's a close-up of the dice. Gives me a very Mandalorian logo vibe, but I'm okay with that. It's actually the kind of the logo we see on the front cover of Tome of Beasts. And then there's Submit a Monster. It says all backers that are $29 level and up may submit a monster for possible publication. We will publish the top 5 monsters when the project is funded, and we'll open up slots for backer monsters as the project grows through stretch goals. Currently, we're at 8 backer monsters. So you can yourself submit a monster, and if it's voted highly, could make it in the book. And I'll be honest with you, from what I've seen from Tome of Beasts 1, 2, and the Creature Codex, the backer-created monsters are usually some of the most favorite, Swollbold being one that I created in the past that made it to the top of the list and has become kind of a, almost like, I don't call it a meme, but it's very popular. It pops up right when you go to the Kobold Press website. So I'm hoping for a return to form as we make our way into Tome of Beasts 3. Advice on how to design a compelling monster will be concluded in a backer-only update on the 24th of February. Submissions themselves will be accepted for a week after it closes. Submitting a monster is purely optional. You don't have to, but you can. Let's take a look at our stretch goals. We're already funded. They're behind here, right? We're already at 50K funded, 75K, 3 additional coastal monsters. That's unlocked. 100K, 3 additional backer monsters plus guest design reveal. That's unlocked. 100K small Puffin Folk miniature. Done. 3 additional jungle monsters for 125K. Done. 3 additional backer monsters at 150. We're probably there when we scroll up to the top and take a look. But then you can see at 175, 1 additional adventure added to the lair book, 200K, 3 additional backer monsters, plus a guest design reveal, and 200K Appendix B NPC features for humanoids. And then they have a little bit about them. If you scroll down to the creative team, you can see the lead cover artists, our mini sculptors here as well, and then we're proud to announce guest designers Luke Gygax, B. Dave Walters, Gail, I think it's Simone, sorry Gail, the Dungeon Dudes, Danny Kwok, sorry Danny, Jeff Grubb, WebDM, me, and Mike Sly Flourishay. Our primary monster designers are a lot of folks you might recognize as well from the Kobold Press team, like Celeste Konowich, Ben McFarlane, and so on. They're assisted by Tome of Beasts newcomers, Benjamin Eastman, who I remember speaking with Benjamin years and years ago from the Kobold Press side. And then you can see that, and then we can see also their editors, and the publisher and Kobold instigator is Wolfgang Bauer. Dozens of other artists, designers, playtesters, coders, and a whole logistics and shipping teams, etc. So there you go, folks. Set to shoot out for delivery November of this year. So just in time for the holidays, you should be able to access Tome of Beasts 3. Now, for those of you wondering what my submission is, I have a bunch that I've submitted. Before I dive too far into the design process, I have, I think, 8 different monsters that I've come up with in my head that I thought would be an interesting addition to this. I was given a challenge rating range of levels of challenge rating 1 to 8, so nothing overly powerful, but I tried to take into account things that I've seen in the past, things that you all have mentioned to me that you saw that there's a lack of monsters of a certain, whether they're a certain appearance, a certain monster type, or something of that nature. I tried to take that into account into the monsters that I've pitched. I'm waiting for feedback on which one will be accepted, and then from there I will obviously go and design the full monster, and perhaps that will be one of the guest reveals. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll be allowed to make separate videos on the design process. I don't know fully the extent of that, but that'll obviously be discussed as time goes on. And if you're interested, maybe in the future in live stream videos or something like that, maybe we'll take the unaccepted monster designs and we'll turn those into monsters that we can build together on a live stream. So thank you again to Cobalt Press for tapping me to be involved in the design for this. At least you'll see my name on the, as an author on a book, which is pretty exciting. And also to give me these exclusive stuff, which I almost didn't even show you because I'm a silly Billy. Let's go ahead and take a look. Here we go, the Tome of Beasts. You can see it right there, Nerd Immersion Tome of Beasts 3 exclusive. The Dragonette, the Barnyard Dragonette by Kelly Pollock. Barnyard Dragonettes are friendly and social lesser dragons with a fondness for pranks. They primarily eat mushrooms, although they have been known to subsist on scraps from slop troughs, without any complaint. The dragons bury their eggs in animal manure to gestate, and mated pairs have found the easiest way to gain access to the substance is to choose a farmstead and make a deal with the farmers working it. Most often they trade pest and predator killing services for their smelly reward. Its breath weapon is a cloud of stinging dust. Its scales are sharp, and it can use these to attack its enemies, and it can be a familiar, which is pretty exciting. And the Forgotten Regent by Jonathan Miley. Forgotten Regent is cursed to lead a kingdom of the damned in the far north after a mistake during its stewardship caused the death of the intended ruler and many of the kingdom's peoples. The servants and many of the people have risen as various undead creatures that now follow the regent. The cursed powers of the Forgotten Regent, and if the regent is ever defeated, all affect the curse's magic. All of the effects of the curse's magic fades, freeing the kingdom from its fate. It can empower nearby undead, especially ghostly undead. It wields a maul made of ice. It can imprison creatures in ice, and through lair actions, it can create slippery ice or a powerful icy wind, or it can call ghostly spirits to pull its enemies closer to it. Here is our Barnyard Dragonette. I very much love the art of this. And did I get the Regent? I thought I had it, but maybe I closed it out. But anyway, this is the Barnyard Dragonette, a very cute little guy here. And in the meantime, let me just go ahead and pull up the art for our Forgotten Regent. I'll show you that. Here we go. Look at that. I'm digging. It gives me a Frost Giant vibe, but I'm digging. I mean, I'm a sucker for two-handed hammers and mauls, so that obviously resonates with me. I love like the little details here as well of like the skulls in the background. Also, I notice all the skulls have sharp teeth, which is pretty exciting. And then again, that is what we've got there. So if we go ahead and minimize this, we can scroll back up to the top and let's see how much we broke 150. Yeah, so we were at 148,103 when we started this video just over 13 minutes ago, and we've ended at 154,516. So we broke the $150,000 funding goal just in the course of talking about this. Over $6,000 in that time period. That's insane. But that's because folks know that Cobalt Press does quality work, and Tome of Beasts 3 Full Throttle is something you're definitely going to want to have in your collection. So now back to the ending that I was doing before I remembered that I had things to show you. So thank you again to Cobalt Press for reaching out and for providing these exclusives that I was able to show off to all of you. I hope you guys are excited about the book. I know I am, and I hope when my monster finally gets approved and comes through that you'll have a great time adding my monster to your campaigns. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.